Okay, let's unpack this statistic because it's pretty striking. Roughly 45% of the world's wealth held by just the top 1%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more than the entire bottom 95% own. It just makes you pause, doesn't it?
It really does. And you start asking, how does this happen? How does this gap keep widening with the rich seemingly getting richer?
Right. Is it just luck, inheritance, or is there something else going on?
Well, often it's less about pure chance and more about, specific approaches, specific rules and mindsets about money that they adopt.
Exactly. And that's what we want to dig into today. Not some get-rich-quick fantasy, but 10 actual rules or maybe insights about money.
Insights, yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah.
Gleaned from people who've, built significant wealth.
And our source for this is a really interesting video from Idepreneur Nepal on YouTube. It's called 10 Future What Wealthy People Know About Money That You Don't.
Which basically translates to, these 10 rules will change your future. What wealthy people know about money that you don't.
And what's great about it is the focus on actionable stuff, things you can actually think about applying.
Right. It moves past just theory. It gives practical rules.
So just to give everyone a roadmap, here are the 10 rules we're going to cover.
Okay.
1, the SMART goal rule. 2, using debt to buy assets. 3, multiple streams of income. 4, the spending rule. 5, avoid lifestyle inflation. 6, emergency cash and insurance.
Crucial.
7, the 24-hour rule. 8, build a stronger network. 9, invest for the long term. And 10, don't forget to pay yourself.
That's a comprehensive list.
Yeah.
And, the goal here isn't necessarily instant billionaire status.
Right, not at all.
It's more about moving towards financial independence.
Right.
Reducing that money stress we all feel sometimes.
And you, our listener, you actually pointed us towards this video because you're looking for those solid takeaways, things that can genuinely boost your financial understanding.
So let's jump in. Let's extract those valuable nuggets for you.
Okay, first up, the SMART goal rule. Now, SMART here isn't just, being intelligent. It's an acronym, right?
Exactly. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. It's a framework, really, to turn vague hopes into actual plans.
Because just saying, I want to be rich, well, that doesn't really get you anywhere, does it?
Not really. The video gives a good contrast. Instead of I want to be rich, a SMART goal is something like, I want to earn at least 30 lakh rupees annually within the next 2 years.
Ah, okay. So it's specific 30 lakhs,
Yeah.
measurable, you can track it, and time-bound 2 years.
Precisely. Or another example they give saying, reduce expenses and save. Okay, good intention, but how?
Right.
A SMART goal would be, I'll cut my monthly expenses by 10,000 rupees and save 15,000 rupees every month. That's measurable. You know if you're hitting it or not.
And the A, achievable. That's important too. Dreaming of earning crores in a year with zero investment, probably not going to happen.
Yeah, likely not achievable. The video contrasts that with maybe investing 20,000 rupees monthly, aiming to reach 20 lakhs in 3 years. That feels more grounded, more possible.
Got it. And R is for relevant. How does that fit in?
Relevant means your goal needs to actually align with where you want to go in life, your bigger picture.
Okay.
So the example was a tech business owner dreaming of being a top musician. Fine hobby, maybe, but not directly relevant to growing the tech business.
Right.
A relevant goal might be learning digital marketing to boost the business by 30%. That fits.
Makes sense. And finally, time-bound. Deadlines.
Absolutely crucial. Without a deadline, things just drift. Start investing slowly. When? How much?
Yeah, too vague.
Compare that to start an SIP of 4,000 rupees and invest 10,000 in stocks every month, starting now. That's time-bound, specific, measurable. It's smart.
So structuring your goals this way just makes them much more real, much more likely to happen. Okay, rule number 2. This one sounds a bit odd at first. Using debt to buy assets rule.
It does, doesn't it? Because we're mostly taught, debt is bad. Avoid it.
Totally. Loans, credit cards, it feels like a burden. The video even mentions that fear, right? Losing stuff if you can't pay.
Exactly. That negative view is very common. But then the video points out that wealthy individuals, even big corporations, they often use debt strategically.
Okay, so how does that work? What's the logic?
The key is the difference between, let's call it good debt and bad debt. This rule is all about good debt, borrowing money specifically to buy assets.
Assets meaning things that make you money.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Things that generate income or could grow in value. The video gives examples like buying a property to rent out,
Okay.
or using a vehicle for rental income, investing in a business, even buying goods you plan to resell for a profit.
So you're borrowing not for a fancy TV, but for something that could pay back the loan and then some.
Precisely. It's an investment strategy, using leverage, a mix of your own money and borrowed money, to acquire assets that can generate returns higher than the cost of the debt.
Right. And that income helps pay off the debt and builds your wealth over time.
Exactly. But, and this is crucial, the video includes that Nepali proverb,
Yes, and
which basically means, assess your capacity before you take the risk. Don't bite off more than you can chew.
So it's not about reckless borrowing at all. You have to be really sure you can handle the repayments, understand the risks.
Absolutely. It's calculated, strategic. It's just viewing debt as a potential tool, not just a danger. That's a big mindset shift.
Okay, that makes more sense. Now, rule number 3, multiple streams of income rule. This feels a bit more intuitive.
Yeah, this was pretty straightforward, right? The video says almost all billionaires have income from various sources. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Makes total sense. Relying on just one salary, if that disappears, you're in trouble.
Big trouble. So the advice is start with your main income source, get that solid, but then actively look for other ways to bring money in.
And they give examples like investing in businesses with friends.
Yeah, or stock investments, freelancing with your skills, maybe some trading. The idea is to get your money working for you in different places while you focus on your main gig.
So your money's making money even when you're not directly working on that specific thing.
Exactly. And the video kind of challenges you, the listener, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It asks, how many income streams could you create? It pushes you to think proactively.
Yeah, it encourages looking for those opportunities. Okay, so we've talked earning, we've talked borrowing. Now, rule 4, the spending rule. And this is interesting. It says wealth involves learning to spend correctly, not just save.
Right. That might surprise some people. We always hear save, save, save. And saving is vital, no question.
Yeah.
But this rule argues that smart spending is also part of the equation, but not, lavish spending.
Not about buying luxury cars or designer watches then.
No, not at all. It's about strategic spending. Spending on things that can actually increase your ability to earn or create opportunities later.
Okay, like what?
Things like resources, tools that make you more productive, maybe software, especially with AI tools now, books, courses, coaching to learn new skills. Even learning a language, they suggest, could open doors.
Investing in yourself, basically.
Exactly. Investing in your skills, your knowledge, your efficiency, and also investing in experiences and your network.
Like going to conferences, networking events.
Yes. Connecting with people in your industry, getting new ideas, building relationships. That's strategic spending too. It might not pay off immediately in cash, but the long-term value can be huge.
So it's shifting how you see spending, not just money going out, but potentially an investment coming back in a different form.
Precisely. Being intentional about where it goes. Okay, that leads nicely into rule 5. Avoid lifestyle inflation.
The silent wealth killer. This is when your income goes up and somehow your spending goes up right along with it.
It's so common, isn't it? You get a raise, you upgrade the car, you get a promotion, you start looking at bigger houses, fancier clothes. The video calls it lifestyle inflation.
And it feels natural, you know? You're earning more, you want to enjoy it. Society kind of expects it too.
It does. But the video strongly warns against letting your expenses balloon just because your income did. If your spending doubles every time your income increases slightly, you're basically stuck on a treadmill.
Earning more, but not actually getting wealthier.
Exactly. So the advice is resist that urge to immediately upgrade everything when you get a raise or have some success. Focus instead on using that extra income to build more income streams, save, invest.
Prioritize building actual wealth over just showing wealth. Needs versus wants.
That's the core of it. Know what you truly need versus what society or advertising tells you you want. The video suggests tracking your income and expenses carefully.
Right.
And making a conscious choice to keep your lifestyle reasonable even as income grows. That gap between income and spending is where wealth acceleration happens.
Delayed gratification, essentially. Okay, so we're building wealth, managing spending. Now, rule 6, emergency cash and insurance rule. This feels foundational.
Absolutely foundational. Can't build a solid house on shaky ground, right? The video really hammers home the need for an emergency fund.
Yeah, that's standard advice. How much do they recommend?
At least 3 months worth of essential expenses if you're single, no major dependents, and at least 6 months worth if you're married or have family responsibilities.
And keep it somewhere accessible.
Yes, a readily accessible savings account, not tied up in long-term investments. This safety net they stress, should be your priority before you even start seriously investing or looking for side hustles.
Because life happens, right? Unexpected repairs, job loss, medical bills.
Exactly, and the fund stops you from having to borrow at high interest or sell your investments at potentially the worst possible time just to cover an emergency.
Makes sense. And besides the cash, they mentioned insurance.
2 specific types:
Yeah.
health insurance and term life insurance. Absolutely critical.
Health insurance for obvious reasons, medical costs can be devastating, and term life.
Term life insurance protects your dependents financially if, heaven forbid, something happens to you, the income earner. Without these, one major event could wipe out everything you've worked for.
So the checklist is emergency cash, health insurance, term life insurance. Get those sorted first.
That's the message. Build that foundation of security, then build your wealth on top of it with more confidence.
Okay, rule number 7, the 24-hour rule. This sounds like a practical tip for everyday spending.
It really is. We're all constantly seeing ads, seeing things we suddenly want. That impulse to buy now,
Oh yeah, online shopping makes it too easy sometimes.
doesn't it? So the 24-hour rule is simple. When you get that strong urge to buy something new, something non-essential that wasn't planned, just wait. Wait 24 hours.
Force a pause. Why? What does that achieve?
It creates breathing room. It lets that initial emotional impulse, the excitement, the "I need this now" feeling cool down.
Step back from the heat of the moment.
Exactly. After 24 hours, you can look at it more rationally. Is it really a need, or was it just a fleeting want? Can I actually afford this within my budget? Does it align with my goals?
Especially for bigger purchases, that pause seems really valuable.
It is. It allows for clearer thinking, less emotional decision making. The video suggests this simple habit helps curb impulsive spending, builds better financial discipline, and keeps you on track.
Just a little buffer zone between desire and clicking buy. I like that. Okay, rule 8. Build a stronger network rule. We touched on this with spending, but this rule focuses just on connections.
Right, and they use that powerful phrase, your network is your net worth.
That really sticks with you. How important is networking, really?
Hugely important, according to the video. For career success, definitely they mention getting interviews through referrals, which is often way more effective.
Sure.
But it's broader than jobs. A strong network means knowledge sharing, finding mentors, getting peer support, maybe even finding partners to build something with. It helps build your reputation too.
So how do you actually do that? It can feel a bit awkward sometimes.
It can. The video suggests being proactive. Identify people you'd like to connect with, reach out authentically, go to events, introduce yourself. Use platforms like LinkedIn strategically.
Okay.
But the key thing they emphasize is the mindset. Give first. Don't just network thinking, what can I get? Offer help. Share your knowledge. Provide feedback without expecting something back immediately.
Build the relationship first.
Exactly. It's a long-term investment. The benefits, both non-monetary like advice and support and potentially monetary down the line, come from cultivating those genuine connections.
Makes sense. It's about people. Okay, rule 9, invest for the long-term rule. Back to the money mechanics.
And this is a big one. The core message. Building real wealth takes time. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
So forget those get-rich-quick schemes.
Absolutely. The video is very clear. Be extremely wary of anything promising huge returns fast. They're likely scams or illegal, and you could lose everything.
If it sounds too good to be true.
It probably is. Sustainable wealth is built slowly, steadily, over years, even decades.
Patience is key then. Once you invest, you need to let it sit and grow.
Yes, let compounding do its magic. Don't panic sell during market dips if your strategy is long-term. Wealthy people, the video notes, almost always talk about long-term strategies.
And avoid the people pushing quick riches.
Definitely. Seek advice from reliable, credible sources. The video even includes that Nepali phrase, "kraka," as a way to just dismiss those crazy, unrealistic promises.
Like, yeah, right, not falling for that.
Exactly. Focus on sound, long-term principles. Okay, finally, rule number 10. And this one feels nice, actually. Don't forget to pay yourself rule.
Yes. After all the discipline about saving, investing, avoiding inflation, reminder to actually enjoy life a bit too.
Precisely. It's about self-care. The video points out it's easy to get so hyper-focused on work, career, building wealth that you neglect hobbies, interests, just relaxing.
And that leads to burnout, right?
It can. Burnout, frustration, irritability, loss of focus, which actually hurts your productivity and your progress in the long run.
So paying yourself isn't just about money, it's about time and attention for yourself.
Exactly. Dedicate time and, yes, maybe some resources to things you enjoy, things that recharge you mentally and emotionally.
They mention wealthy people often play golf or tennis or have hobbies.
Right. It's not just frivolous. It's about maintaining that healthy mind, that balance, which is essential for sustained progress. You need to refuel to keep going effectively.
So don't grind yourself into dust-chasing financial goals. Take care of yourself along the way.
That's the message. It's about building a sustainable path to success, not just a sprint to a potential crash.
Wow. Okay, so that's the 10 rules. From smart goals and strategic debt to long-term investing and taking care of yourself. Lots to think about.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the core idea, tying it all together, is that by understanding and crucially implementing these principles, you can really start shifting your mindset, your habits.
And ultimately pave the way for a more financially secure, more independent future.
Exactly. And that brings us to the final thought for you, our listener. Reflect on these 10 rules.
Sure.
Which one, right now, resonates the most with where you are? And maybe more importantly, what's just one small, manageable step you could take, maybe even today, to start putting that rule into practice in your own life?
Because even applying one or two consistently, that could compound over time, couldn't it?
It absolutely could. Small changes, consistently applied, can genuinely alter your financial trajectory down the road. Something to really mull over.